The power of habits. If you are struggling with the bad habits and want to replace them with the good ones, then this video is created specially for you. Now let's try understanding. The first lesson is that every habit is a part of a three-step process. The first, there is a cue, a trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode and for which habit to use, and then there is the routine which can be physical, mental or emotional. Finally there is reward which helps our brain figure out if any particular route is worth remembering for future. For example, if your bad habit is playing video games, your cue might be seen game place wherever your routine would be actually playing the video game, and your reward would be the dopamine rush you get. Over time, this loop becomes more and more automatic. The cues and the reward becomes intertwined until a powerful sense of anticipation and craving emerges. Eventually, a habit is born. When I have emerges, the brain no longer works so hard the decision making. So unless you deliberately fired a habit or find a new routine and pattern will unfold automatically. This is because our brain are constantly looking for ways to save efforts. Habits, as much as memory and reason, are at the root of how we behave. We might not remember the experience that creates our habit, but once they are lodged within our brain, they influence how we act. Often without our realization, habits never truly disappear. This is why relapses happen. If you ever find yourself cheating on a diet, it's because you triggered your bad habit. Maybe seeing a donut caused you to want to eat it. Then, how do we get rid of bad habits? The answer is we don't. We simply create new routine that overpower those behaviors. And once someone creates a new pattern, going for a jog or ignoring the donut becomes an automatic as any other habit. Lesson 2. Cues typically fall into one of the 5 categories: time, location, proceeding of that emotional state, and other people. Time is probably the most common way to trigger a new habit. Common morning habits are just one example. Waking up in the morning triggers a chain of habits. Go to the bathroom, take a shower, brush your teeth. You may also notice that you mindlessly repeat certain tasks at different points during the day, such as getting a snack at the same time every afternoon time. Base cues can also be used to stick with routine over and over again. For instance, every Wednesday I make a plan for the week ahead, and that loop actually triggers me to write my timetable of the following week every Wednesday. So it becomes a routine for me. Now, let's try understanding the location. If you ever walked into your kitchen, seen a plate of cookies on the counter and eaten them just because they are there in front of you, then you understand how location can play a role in your behavior. The most effective way to use this cue is to use the new location to build a new habit. This gives you a blank slate to work with, and you won't have to overcome any pre-existing triggers. This is why having an office space is effective for getting work done. Preceding events are even your phone buzzes, so you check your text messages or when the Facebook notification bar lights up and you click on it. A production way to use this is to stack habits on the top of each other. For example, after making a cup of coffee, you can meditate for a few minutes and then get to work. You may have a habit of eating when you feel depressed, or You might do some online shopping when you're bored. Although emotions are common cues for our behavior, they are harder to control and use for building good habits. If you want any emotion to trigger a positive habit, you need to be consciously aware of the emotion as you are experiencing it. If you want to increase your emotional awareness, I would recommend meditating. Finally, it's probably no surprise to you that the people you associate with can play a role in your habits and behaviors. That best way to use this cue is to surround yourself with people who have the habits you want to have yourself. If the people around you are successful and productive, you're likely to end up the same way as well. Lesson number 3. Habits are powered by craving. Craving is what makes cues and rewards work. The craving is what powers the habit loop. First, you want to find a simple and obvious clue, and then you want to clearly define the reward. Habit creates neurological cravings. As we associate cues with certain rewards, a subconscious craving, a merger in our brain, and that starts the habit loop spinning. A cue and a reward on their own are enough for a new habit to last. Only when your brain starts expecting the reward craving, the endomorphins or sense of accomplishment will become automatic to lace up your jogging shoes each morning. The cue, in addition to triggering a routine, must also trigger a craving for a reward. To come, let's take a look at brushing your teeth. As an example, it's a habit that nearly everyone does. The reason why it's so ingrained into our mind, it's not because we think about having clean teeth. While cleanliness is the reason we brush our teeth, it's not why we automatically decide to do it every day. Actually, we brush our teeth because toothpaste creates a sensation. We crave the cool tingling, and in return we equate it with cleanliness. Craving is what drives habit, not the reward of figuring out how to spark a craving makes creating a new habit easier. So use cravings to create new habits. Lesson number 4. Change your routine. You can never truly extinguish bad habits. Rather, to change a habit, you must keep the old cues and deliver the old reward, but in certain new routine. Almost any behavior can be transformed if the cue and the reward stay the same. The reason why many people fail to break a bad habit is that they don't identify the cue that triggers a certain routine. After you identify the cue, you can then replace the following routine with something more productive. As a personal example, I used to check my phone the first thing in the morning whenever I woke up, and this caused me to end up wasting 15 to 30 minutes checking my junk mails or the social media. And then I should have been getting ready for the day. Instead of putting it on my nightstand, I leave it on my desk so I can't automatically reach for it when I wake up. And this ensures that I get up and brush my teeth instead of allowing me to start my day by doing something that will lead into more productive habit. Lesson number 5. Choose a keystone habit. Some habits have the power to start a chain reaction and change other habits. In other words, some matter more than others. These are keystone habits, and they can influence how people work, eat, play, live, spend, and communicate. Keystone habits start a process that transforms everything. Small wins are a part of how keystone habits create widespread changes. Once a small win has accomplished, there is momentum for another small win to be created. This creates a snowball effect, and over time you will be convinced that bigger accomplishments are within reach. For example, my keystone habit is waking up early morning. This causes me to be more productive, allowing me to create a morning routine full of all the other good habits. So the productivity is increased, and also the good health and all the good habits are under me. Lesson number 6 is to turn the willpower into a habit. Willpower is a single most important keystone habit for individual success. This isn't just a skill, it's a muscle that gets tired as I work harder. So there's a less power left over the other things. If you want to do something that requires willpower, like going for a run after work, you have to conserve your willpower muscle during the day. If you use it up too early on tedious tasks like writing emails or filling out boring forms, all the strengths will be gone by the time you get home. There was an experiment where people were signed up for a money management program. The participants have to deny themselves of luxurious and keep detailed logs of everyday thinking. They bought their finances improved as they progressed through the program. But there were also side effects. They smoked fewer cigarettes, drank less alcohol, ate less junk food, and we are more productive at work. As people strengthen their willpower muscle, and one part of their life that strengthens spilled over into what they ate and how hard they work. This is why signing up kids for piano lessons or sports are so important. It has nothing to do with creating a good musician or a football star. When you learn to force yourself to practice for an hour or run 15 laps, you train your willpower muscle to allow you to focus on other important things. Willpower becomes a habit by choosing a certain behavior ahead of time and then following that routine. When an inflection point arrives, when it comes time to making a decision on working on your business or watching TV, you will have the willpower to choose work. When people are asked to do something that takes self-control, it's much less taxing if they think they're doing it for personal reasons. If it's a choice or something they enjoy because they're helping someone else. But if they feel like that they have no choice and they're just following orders, then their willpower muscle gets tired much faster. Lesson number 7. Habits are easier to change with other people. When people join groups where change seems possible, such as Alcoholics Anonymous, or the potential for that change to occur becomes more real. Belief is easier when it occurs within a community. If we keep the same cue and the same abode, a new routine can be inserted. But that's not enough to be happy. To change, people must believe change is possible, and most often that belief only emerges with the help of a group. So if you want to change a habit, or odds for success go up dramatically when you commit to changing as a part of a group. When you can actually see and visualize your habit being broken, it will be much easier for you to believe that you can do it. If it works for someone else, it can work for you. That being said, I want you to hit the notification bell